Hey Resolve editors, today we're going to be making this really awesome Fusion text animation. All right, you guys like that animation? There's a whole lot of different things we can do with it. I'm going to walk you through the whole process, and we can do the whole thing in 5 fairly simple steps, and we got a great looking animation. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about what this thing is right here. It's a new tool I've been working on. Can you guess what it is? It's part of my SPARKFX toolkit, and it's something that I've put together that really helps me out, saves a lot of time. Okay, and as always, make sure that you like this video, subscribe, it really helps the channel. Comment below, I love to hear what you guys are thinking. Obviously, what do you think that thing is? Right there. And let's dive into this, and we're gonna start making this animation, and then we'll go into what this new tool does, how you can use it, and how it's gonna make your life a whole lot easier. Okay guys, we're gonna set up this animation in 4 easy steps. Number 1, we're gonna set up the outline text. Let's take a background node and put it into the node area and connect it up and set the alpha to 0. Hit Control Space and search for S text. I'm going to set the text up. With the text selected, hit Control Space and search for S outline. And that's going to create an outline version of our text. Let's adjust the outline size. With the outline selected, hit Control Space and search for S render. That's going to render out our shaped, this because we're using the shape system. And take the S render and drag it on top of the output of the background. And let's take a look at the full thing. Now let's animate the outline. Click the outline node and you'll see that we can adjust the position and length to get an animation there. Set position and length to 0, go to the very first frame and keyframe those at 0. Let's go over to about frame 12 and we'll set the position to 0.3 and the length to 1. Okay, now we have the outline animating in. We're going to have the solid fill in the text. Click in the node area, hit Control Space and search for S render. I'm going to use another render node and take the output of the text into this, and this is going to be for our solid text. And we're going to merge this right on top of this merge 1, and that is our solid text. So we have the outline text and the solid text. So let's just get these to fade in. Go to frame 0, bring the blend all the way down on the merge. Let's go to frame 12 and set the blend to 1. So it's going to kind of fade in right there. And at frame 12, let's go to merge 2. Set the blend to 0. Let's take a look at it right there. So now we're just seeing the outline. We're going to have the solid color. We're going to have the solid fill in the inside of the outline. Let's go to about frame 30 and take the blend to 1. All right, and now we have the animation fading in from outline to solid. Step 2, we just need to take this in animation and be able to use it as the out animation. And to do that, we're going to use the time speed node trick. So it's animating in right there. Let's click in the node area, Control Space and search for time speed. Take the output of this merge and put it into the time speed. And we're going to set the speed to -1. And that's just going to have the animation run backwards. So let's put the time speed in the viewer. And you'll see that it's going to start out solid. And when we go to the very end, then it's going to animate out. So from the merge, we have it animating in and the time speed is animating out. Now we use a dissolve node to show the merge 2 in the beginning and the time speed at the end. Control Space and search for dissolve. And let's put that right here on that, in between the merge and the immediate out. Take the output of the time speed and put it into the dissolve. Go to the very first frame and you'll see that we're seeing the animation, which is not what we want to do because by default it shows the foreground, which is the reverse. So let's put it on background. Put it on background and let's play to when the full animation comes in right in here, maybe frame 34. Keyframe the background, go over 1 frame and set it to foreground. So the beginning of the animation is right here and then everything after is playing from the time speed, which is reversed, and it'll go out. Step 2 complete. We have it animating in like that and at the very end animating out. And this is great because we can adjust the length of our clip and the in and out animations are going to be aligned to fit with our clip size. Moving on, step number 3, we're going to set up the gradient text. This is really easy. We're just going to use a background node. Hit Control Space and search for background and hit enter. Take the output of the dissolve and put it into the background. And let's take a look at what we got. All right, just black text. So to set up the gradient, we'll click the background and go into the inspector, change the type to gradient, and I'm going to go through and click on these little points here and set up a nice looking gradient. Okay, there's our gradient text, and we're going to animate this using the offset property. Let's go ahead and set it to ping pong so it's going to be able to animate through just like that. So we'll go to frame 0, click the keyframe, move over somewhere in here, doesn't really matter, and adjust the offset to get a little bit of animation and movement going. Click the spline editor and click on offset down here, and we're just going to have the offset continue. So select these 2 points. I checked on offset, and we're going to hit set relative, which means the offset animation that we set up is just going to continue throughout our composition. Okay, step 3 is done. Now moving on to step number 4. We're going to set up the raise effect. Hit Control Space in the node area and search for raise. And we're going to drag that right onto this line here with a Shift key. Put this in the middle, and there we go. We got our raise. So we're going to keep the basic raise for now. We may need to adjust this. What we want to do is we want to adjust the position of the raise so we kind of get this moving across effect. Okay, so we just need to animate this center position. So let's double click on it to reset it. Right click and say modify with, we're going to say vector result, and then click on modifiers. We're going to set the origin to 0. And now if we adjust the distance property, you'll see that we have the kind of raise sliding through our text. Right click on raise and say modify with, and we're going to modify it with anim curves. So the rays are going to move through our text throughout the length of the animation. Okay, we got some animated rays. Let's take a ellipse and put it into the mask of the rectangle, and this is going to allow us to show where we want our rays to be coming out of. Let's right click on the center position and choose connect to the rays on vector position, and that means the ellipse position is going to follow where our rays are. And we'll soften up do a little soft edge on it, make it a little bigger right in there. And let's take the raise and merge it right on top of this dissolve. And in the merge, we're going to say the merge operator is under, so that the rays are going to be underneath our text. All right, we're almost there. Step number 5, we're going to add a little bit of edge detect to kind of give it a really cool effect. So let's move this media out a little bit over, hit Control Space and search for edge detect, hit enter. Take the output of the merge and put it into the edge detect. Let's take a look at what we got. Then take the output of the edge detect and we're going to merge this back on top of the merge. And it's going to be sitting right there on top. And let's change the apply mode to screen. The edges are a little bit too thick, but we can adjust that. Move down the brightness, edge width just a touch. And also in the preview, I played around with I changed this raise node with a lot of different things, some different effects to kind of create some different backgrounds. So there's a lot of different things you can do to kind of play around with this kind of basic structure and create really cool animations. Okay, if you hadn't already guessed it, the M right there, that stands for macro. And that's going to allow us to turn this into a fully usable macro in basically 3 clicks. Super easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight all of our nodes there, hit Control G to turn it into a group, and let's rename it. We'll call it Fun Text. All right, there we go. Now let's bring up SPARKFX and see if we can find that thing right there. All right, this is a SPARKFX home screen, and you see this thing Spark Macro Express. I've set up a quick link, but if you click on Fusion, you'll see it right under here under the Create area. Spark Macro Express. Let's click on that and see what we find. It says step 1 is highlight our nodes and create a group. Well, we did that. Select the group and copy it. All right, so let's go to Resolve. We're going to select this and we're going to copy it, and we're going to paste group. Everything's ready to go. It found everything. All we have to do now is hit Create Text Macro, and we're done. Okay, we got our macro and it's ready to be used directly from the timeline. Go to the timeline and go to SPARKFX, Titles. Let's click Custom, and there's our fun text. We just made it. Drag it in here, and we can adjust everything from the inspector. Okay, that's the experimental Spark Macro Express tool. Let me kind of walk you through and show you how to use it. Right now it's specifically designed to work for creating text macros. So let's make a new text macro. Go to the toolbox area and bring in a Fusion composition, and let's get into Fusion. We're going to set this up and it's just going to take a couple seconds. Take a background node and put it in here, and let's take it just a regular text node this time and drag it in. We'll add a transform node in here. We're going to spin this text around. So let's right click on angle, choose expression, and we're going to say time times 2. And that's going to have our text kind of rotate around. So we're going to be rotating text animation. And then we're going to hit Control Space on the merge and search for transform. So this is specifically designed for helping you create text macros. Okay, let's go ahead and rename some of these nodes. Hit template. I'm going to set that to my text. And the background, we're going to set that to SPX background color. And we're going to set this one to SPX transform. And let's go ahead and bring a rectangle in here, rectangle mask, and bring it in. And we're going to set our background color to like a kind of, let's see, pink there. All right, that looks good. And let's change the name of this one to SPS mask. And the SPX is going to let the macro express know which nodes that you want to be included in your macro. Okay, highlight our nodes, hit Control G. That's our group. We'll call this box text. We have our group. Let's hit Control C to copy it. Go back to Macro Express, hit Paste Fusion, and you'll see it found the Text Plus node, the transform, the mask, and our background color. Now this is not set up to work with all nodes. This is just a really basic kind of a quick way to create a macro so that you can adjust a few of the parameters from the timeline without having to go through the tedious part of creating a full macro. So this is not really designed to be a full macro editor, just kind of a quick way to get access to the properties that you're probably going to use the most. You'll see it's going to go to the titles area. They all go to SPARKFX Custom, and it has the macro name. So for the controls, you can choose simple, standard, or full. Full is going to have more controls, and simple is going to have the fewest controls. So let's go ahead and do full controls and hit Create Macro. You create the box text macro. If you want to look at it real quick, you can hit Copy Fusion and go to Fusion and then paste it in. And you'll see in the inspector we have the sections. And what it basically does is it creates a group for each of the nodes so that we can adjust it. So go to the timeline, titles, open up SPARKFX Custom, and now we have the box text. We'll bring that in. All right, there we go. We made a macro. Let's take a look at what we can do with it. In the properties area, you'll see that there's a little expandable group for each of the nodes automatically. I have the SPARKFX buttons here so that if you make adjustments here, you can save any of these as a reusable preset. All right, let's open up my text and adjust the text. I also include buttons that directly integrate with a lot of the really great SPARKFX text tools features. So we can hit Font Labs button and pull up some of our favorites here and just click it to be able to quickly adjust our text based on our favorite fonts that we have selected. You can click Layout to go to the Layout area, and you can also click Text Style. So we'll do text styles in just a second. Let's see, you got Transform. It's going to be able to move this around. We got Mask to adjust our mask, which is going to be our shape back here. So this is fully adjustable. And we can adjust our background color. Let's go ahead and take the background color all the way down. Let's go to My Text. To adjust the font styles using the SPARKFX text tools, all we have to do is hit Text Styles. That's going to bring up SPARKFX. Go to Style Library, hit Select Text Style, and just pick one of your saved styles. And hit Update Text. You can select a different profile, or just click your text that you want. A Spark Macro Express, get in, go and play with it. The default one lets you create one text node, but if you actually a subscriber or have any of the SPARKFX tools, it allows you to add more nodes and kind of do a little bit more. Definitely give it a try and let me know what you think. Hopefully it'll be a useful tool for you. This is something I use a lot. It's a really quick way to take a Fusion animation and be able to use it from the timeline without having to do a lot of work, messing around with all the nodes, parameters, and values, and all that stuff. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. I got a lot more coming soon. Like, subscribe, and all that great stuff helps support the channel. And I'm going to be having a full walkthrough of all the text tools coming up. Hopefully I'll get that done later this week. It's going to show you how to use all the styles, layouts, and font labs, and all the different things.